Hello, everybody, and welcome to Three Kobolds Gaming, where we play Pathfinder 2nd Edition. And
We do?
tonight, occasionally,
That will be
every
sometimes.
3 weeks,
Roughly every 3 weeks, yeah.
Yikes.
tonight we continue our Heroes of Absalom adventure, which I'm extremely excited to do. But in honor of tonight and what we have planned, what is everybody's favorite heist movie? Yeah, think about it. Some of the classics, Mission Impossible, Ocean's 11. They actually reference Ocean's 11 in the book. What are some of the good classic heist movies?
Isn't Spy Kids 3 a heist movie?
Isn't that the one where they VR into a video game world and
Aren't they stealing something?
and Elijah Wood is like the chosen one but gets offed in like 3 seconds?
He's the guy.
Yeah, he's the guy. That's right.
I have such a memory of him appearing in that movie. For some reason, it's burned into my brain. He comes out of this fake lava or something.
Yeah.
And says, "I am the chosen one."
Endlessly
Something like that.
Endlessly funny because it came out in 2003, which means it would have been like either right on the heels of or right before Return of the King. So he's like the most well-known face ever.
And yet people still got him confused with Daniel Radcliffe.
I'm gonna go with Spy Kids 3D. Game over.
I'm gonna go with Catch That Kid, starring Kristen Stewart
Okay.
when she was pre-Twilight. Yeah.
Okay. Some left field answers, but I like it.
Have I seen any other heist movie?
I remember like vaguely watching Ocean's 11 when I was like a kid, and I didn't really get it because I was like 10.
I haven't seen it.
So this is interesting. I just Googled best heist movies of all time just to trigger my memory to see how many heist movies I've even seen. They put Inception on this list, which that's
Totally.
an interesting choice.
It is.
Heisting
It is a
on
heist
a
movie.
memory.
Definitely heisting a memory, but
Yeah.
still counts, I think. That's
Totally.
interesting.
I'm gonna switch my answer to Inception. That counts.
Other- Google's counting Drive as an Inception movie. That's a great movie. Oh, The Town, fantastic movie. Baby Driver.
That was
We're
gonna
looking at
be
the same.
that was
we're
gonna be
definitely
my
looking at the
answer.
same list, Jack.
Yeah.
Was
yeah.
Baby Driver is one of my favorite movies of all time.
Baby Driver's so good.
Baby Driver is
Never
so
seen it.
good.
That's a
Just
Just
great
the way
movie.
the soundtrack interacts with the main character. Kevin Spacey's most infamous line that is only bad in hindsight, but where basically he is talking about how he picked up, Baby as a employee because Baby heisted, like literally carjacked his car. He was like, normally I would have like shot him or something, but I had to admire the balls on that kid.
Yikes! Yikes!
Yeah. Yep.
He had to actually. He
Had to. So, infamous Kevin Spacey line, gotta love it. But really good
Everything
movie.
about him is infamous.
It's got
Ant-Man is on this list. That's not a bad option. Ant-Man's a pretty good heist
it's
movie.
stretch. It is. It's an action movie with heist elements, I would say.
Endgame, like if you think about it.
Heisting.
Any movie where somebody
Everyone
tries to
back
get
alive.
something is a heist movie.
Logan Lucky is a
Heist
movie
good.
I'm sure none of you have seen. Have any of you seen Logan Lucky?
Never even heard of
Nope.
it.
Could not recommend that movie enough. It is it Channing Tatum and Adam Driver? I believe so. Yeah,
Sorry,
Channing.
did anybody else know about Ocean's 13?
Yeah.
I didn't know that existed.
Did you know about
It does
Ocean's
exist.
8?
I know about Ocean's 8, especially because of the John Mulaney sketch about how Ocean's 11 would never work with women, and then they made a movie.
I like the audacity to call it Ocean's 8, inevitably anticipating to make Oceans 9 and 10, and then everyone said, "Hey,
Just don't.
no thanks, no thanks."
Nah, it's all good.
I'm sticking with Spy Kids 3D. Game over.
Baby Driver.
I'm sticking with Inception, I think.
I think me too.
Damn.
Oh, Rogue One is apparently a heist movie.
Dan, why would you just drop that?
That's
So
a
casual.
banger one.
I'm trying to say it.
What did Dan say? What did you say?
Fantastic Mr. Fox, one of my favorite heist movies.
That is a banger option.
Dude,
Wes Anderson film
love Wes
of the
Anderson.
year.
Oh
It's
my
a
God.
classic Wes Anderson film. Well, I bring this up because I want to have you all think about these things, what they did, how they got over obstacles, and utilize the same kind of quick thinking, the same kind of maneuverability, dexterity, mentally and physically, to overcome the obstacles that lay before you in this heist. We come back to Absalom, the city at the center of the world, on a very important day. It is the day of the gala at the Nimbus Casino. And you all have to break in to the casino vault to then open a lockbox that was owned by a thief who was associated with the Twilight Four. This thief apparently had hidden away a dangerous clockwork alchemical item in said lockbox that you all have to recover, or at least should recover, so that it stays out of the hands of the Twilight Four for whatever nefarious purpose they may have had. You all have spent the last few days casing the joint and have learned many a thing. And at the very end of our last session, 3 weeks ago, Bastro was invisible and heading down to the basement level. Just want to take a quick moment to resolve that before we go into your classic planning scene for this heist. So I urge the audience and Bastro to take a look at the map real quick. There's not much to see. You have this hallway, 2 doors in said hallway, and then further down, it catty corners to the left. As you sneak your invisible head around to peer, you see 2 guards. Biggest human dudes you've ever seen. These guys are just straight yoked. Like, if you've ever seen those pictures of like really big dudes that are next to each other, like a picture of Jason Momoa next to Shaq. Like, these guys are Shaq with Jason Momoa's physique.
So they're hot.
Sure.
Too.
If you think they are hot, they're hot. And they're like,
I don't think anybody doesn't think
bursting out of the same uniform that you've seen all of the bouncers wearing. And I mean, they're the biggest, toughest guards that you've seen in this place by far. And behind them, a massive 15 by 20 vault door with a just staggering and dizzying number of like gears and clockwork implements that surround the surface, all interlocking and interweaving, heading over to the side where 2 massive metal bars are currently slotted into the wall. Almost like, timbers across a door, but these are, multi-foot thick beams of metal. And in the very center of this massive door, you see is just a single keyhole. Presumably the key of Mr. Gage. As your invisibility begins to run out, you are able to make your way back upstairs, back to your friends as the invisibility drops. And the casino, you hear announcements being made by some speakers on the stages, telling everybody to clear out so that they can prepare for the gala. It is currently 6 p.m. The gala starts at 8. Oski, being only a server, you've already done your first half of your 8-hour shift. You've already done 4 hours. The gala itself is 4 hours, so that's the second half of your shift. And you just have to show up when the gala starts. because they won't, they don't start serving drinks and everything like right at doors open. There'll be like the bartenders, but the wait staff, you've still got a little bit of time. Now, obviously, if you're late, there'll be issues, but you all have 2 hours during Oski's break to plan and prepare. I want to preface the structure that we're going to be using here. We're not going to roll initiative, but we are going to have an initiative, and you all can decide what order you all would like to be in during initiative. We're going to be doing this in rounds, but it is a more abstract round. Each round encompasses 10 minutes of in-world time, in which you all will explain to me what you're doing, how you're attempting to further your goals, and I will tell you if you need to roll things, and as obstacles come up, what might be required. I'll describe the scene, but it is a much more free-flowing narrative experience than a typical encounter, quote-unquote, encounter mode. There may be certain instances where we do go into a more traditional encounter mode. If, for instance, you start a bar fight, or some guards catch you where you're not supposed to be and they try to beat you up and kick you out, then we'll jump into that, and afterwards we'll hop back into this kind of more free-flowing space. I want to remind everybody of your kind of 3 objectives. There are kind of 3 chunks to this mission. First is to get Gage's key off of him. All right, he carries it on his person at all times, so you need to get the key off of him. You then need to make your way to the vault, get into the vault, and unlock the lockbox that has this item in it. And finally, you need to get out without being noticed. And this one is a little bit more loose. Once you have the thing, you could just go. It's how closely and how much connection you want to leave yourselves with. That is the key to that last part. How seamlessly do you want to slip into the night? Or do you just run out, alarms blaring, guards chasing? That's up to you.
Don't believe that choice will be up to us by the end of this.
Yeah, just wait until we screw up the other part.
I don't think that will stay our choice. Cool.
So,
Sounds fun.
let's take a little bit of time to go over everything you all have learned, everything you all have accumulated, and formulate a general strategy.
So, to start off, Bastro and I are husband and wife under the pseudonym Hammerman. I don't remember the first names I gave us. If I did. It's been 3 weeks.
What'd you give?
I'm pretty sure it's just Hammer.
What'd you give? In
What are your names?
yeah.
Lucille and Frank. No, wait, your name was Frank, wasn't it? For the bodyguard. Shoot.
What name did you give for
Just
the
give me
bodyguard?
names.
Okay, Frank is the bodyguard. Lucille Hammerman and
Iris.
Jonathan. Pronounced that way.
What?
Jonathan.
Okay,
Jonathan.
cut out.
Jonathan.
Jonathan.
Sorry, say that again. My headphones died.
Jonathan Hammerman, Lucille Hammerman, and our bodyguard Frank.
So there's an accent over the A.
Yes.
I just put the THAN in all caps when I wrote it down, so that might be helpful too.
And a little umlaut over the O at the beginning.
Jonathan.
Hammerman, and then just Frank.
Jonathan Hammerman.
Okay. And you have successfully obtained invitations for yourself, for Bastro, and for Frank. I should say for Lucille, Frank, and Jonathan.
Is Oski going by his real name? Did you sign your name on like your?
Yeah, what
your
name did you use on the paperwork?
employment
Oski?
papers?
Oh shoot.
What's on your W-2?
You know, Oski's intelligence is a 10. I think he's going by Oski.
There's not really a reason not to. Like,
Honestly,
Just go by
it's worse
Osko.
if you like screw it up.
He's not trying to have a cover identity. He is just himself working as a waiter.
Okay.
I kind of love that though. It makes our story a lot.
Yeah, I don't know what your
Lot more
deception skill
immersive.
is, but yeah.
Speaking of our waiter friend Oski, Oski has earned 2 edge points. One that he got for getting
No
a
edge.
job as a waiter, and one that he got for befriending and making a contact out of a little... Is she a gnome or a halfling? Well, his good friend Gitsy, the sous chef.
It's you wonder,
Cosm.
Cosm.
Wonder Cosm.
Chasm Cosm.
Causes the wonders, yes.
So, edge points are similar to hero points. They can be used to, except that they can only be used to turn a critical fail into a regular fail or a regular fail into a success, as they relate to the first one, his job as a waiter. So if he can somehow work that into what he's doing, or the check that he failed had something to relate to the fact that he was a waiter or doing waiter things, he can use that edge point. The second one, anything that he's doing where he's asked a favor of Gitsy and Gitsy is involved in some way in that check, he can reroll a fail, or not reroll, but he can bump up a critical fail or a fail using his Gitsy edge point. What else have you all learned, or do you want to just start with general discussion on what you're going to do here?
Well, we learned that the vault guard had suddenly quit without a word and were replaced. Bastro learned that.
With these gigantic dudes, apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know where the vault is.
And we spent some time in the like on the floor of the casino getting a general layout impression, and I won't ask you to walk back through that, but we've seen that a little bit.
We know there's a powerful wizard trying to get back at Gage for losing a lot of money.
We do know that Gage is hip to the Hammermans. We tried to make a connection, and
Forgot about that.
Didn't even successfully make the contact.
he was like, "What were your names again?"
Yes, you have already accrued your first awareness point. And I should say, as things go wrong during the course of events, you will accrue awareness points. Individual awareness points themselves aren't like... I don't want to say not a big deal, because they are kind of a big deal, but they represent a gradual accumulation of your antagonists, in this case, the entirety of the casino staff and Gage in specific, becoming aware of your plots and schemes. So while in this case, Gage was like, "Oh, Hammerman, that's not a name I remember," he's going to be now more likely to recognize, more likely to be aware of Hammerman, the name, and already have an impression of you. So he is slightly more aware of Hammerman, Lucille specifically. And as you accumulate these points in failure or doing things that are particularly ostentatious that would draw attention to yourselves, things begin to happen, things get harder for you as the casino wakes up to your plans. If, and I'll let you know right off the bat, if you hit 40 awareness points, the casino goes on lockdown.
A lot of awareness points.
Hardcore lockdown, as City Guard are called in. This is an official Radiant Festival event. So like City Watch called in, doors
We've
locked
really
shut.
screwed up if we get there.
If you get
Well,
to 40.
actually, I think we probably screwed up before then. Like, that sounds like a horribly nuclear option, but things
Right.
could look really bad way earlier than that.
Oh,
So
yeah.
and that is not a game over, but that's when it starts shifting from if you haven't gotten this thing yet, to
Yeah.
maybe we don't get it, or if you have got it, like maybe we just get out now and don't try to cover our tracks.
Yeah.
So that's just a heads up. I will let you know when you reach 40, but I will not let you know where you're at during the course of events.
And
You're
you won't
more than
tell us.
welcome to keep track on your own, but I
Okay.
will not be given.
You will
Giving-
tell us
yeah.
when we've accrued points, though.
And,
Like,
and how many?
No,
okay.
but
So how do we keep track on our own then?
Something
failed
bad
checks.
something bad happens every 5, right?
Correct.
Yes, and also we know that if we fail or critically fail, you get 1 or 2 awareness
Yeah,
points.
okay.
That's
If
how
you're
infiltration
informed-
works. Yeah.
If you're informed that you fail as a task, you can maybe track it.
You can intimate that might
Yeah.
accrue awareness.
And then yes, if we feel like we've hit 5 and then some weird complication comes around, then it's like, okay,
Okay.
we definitely hit 5.
I
So-
think my question for the party is, what do you want Oski's role to be for the 3 of you? Because you 3 are together. My thought is I could either run interference for you all as like someone who's behind the scenes a little bit, and just if complications arise, like, and maybe a guard's coming to check on you, I can spill a drink on him, like I can just be running interference, or
Yeah.
I can be like trying to bring information to you somehow. I don't know. Those are sort of my 2 thoughts. Is either I'm just like the boy in the dam putting his finger in holes, or I'm like trying to bring information to you all. I don't know. What are your thoughts?
I think it would be really helpful if you could find out where Gage keeps his key on him,
On his person, yeah.
on his person,
Yeah.
like whether it's like in his coat pocket or in his like in a little pouch on his belt that we'll need to, or something like.
Yes, that would be really helpful. If you could also poison everyone who's there, that would be good. If you could just make that happen.
Yeah.
And also break into the vault and
Yeah,
grab the lockbox.
If you could just break in and grab the thing.
Hey,
Let me.
Will,
Yes.
do you remember I had this really cute moment with Gitsy where she was talking about this thing that she wanted to make or something, and it was supposed to be like a really cute moment, and I didn't write it down. What was the thing that she wanted to make? Did you write it down possibly, or am I just screwed because I didn't keep good enough notes?
Like it was like her signature dish,
It was
right?
the
You wanted
dish,
to-
right?
Yeah, and I was trying. It was one of the sort of. It was like the shtick I was doing to build a connection with her, and I didn't write down what it specifically was.
I feel like it was a pudding of some sort.
Well, it was like it was French. I know that, and it was some kind of like home comfort food, like French comfort food.
Bouillabaisse? I
Cassoulet.
don't think so.
Cassoulet.
Dewey.
Oh, Castellet.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yes.
Castle with milk in French.
Yes. It is a stew or casserole, typically using pork sausage, goose, duck, or mutton, as well as white beans.
Cool.
It's a very comfort food type deal. But she's saying like, oh, like it's looked down upon because it's like simple dish, but like my recipe, like I've been perfecting it. I've been, classing it up, and it will blow everyone away. But just
Yeah.
because of the, the association with like, home cook that it would have.
Well, we just need to get the really sour and evil food critic into the restaurant, and then when we serve him the cassoulet, he'll remember his childhood,
Remember his youth.
and then he'll say it's the best dish you've ever had, and then we'll open up the restaurant, and the rat that's controlling Gitsy can finally step down and like become.
Now that you think about it, you've never seen Gitsy without a hat.
Yeah, this is really we're really cracking this thing. Like, can you track down the rat as the thing Oski does? We don't need you to be in charge of the infiltration at all. Just figure out this whole ratatouille thing.
I'm on.
Well, don't say the name. Don't say the name of it. We'll get. Please just
You guys aren't ready for my Rat Street Boys plot yet.
True.
Oh my god.
I think I'll be able to get the key off of Gage once we find out where it is, but I think finding out where he keeps it will be helpful. I'm also good for distractions.
Yeah, we'll need a distraction in order to get down into the vault. So once we get that key, maybe Oski and Bastro and or actually no, Oski would be in the kitchen, so maybe Bastro and Kashak could sneak down to the vault with the
Yeah,
key.
I definitely saw myself in the vault. I don't have much thievery, but I'm a great lookout.
Yeah, lookout / stealther. I got my invisibility.
Mm-hmm.
The two of us can definitely get in there.
Okay.
How are you with thievery, Bastro?
Not great.
Not.
Okay, so
I think you're our only thievery person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Next question. I'm going to be rolling quite a few secret checks during this. So my first question is, what do you all want your party initiative to be during the freeform infiltration rounds? And there can be some overlap if like two people are like, oh, we want to, do this thing together, like then it's both of your rounds. So it doesn't have to be like super strict in order. It's just going to be the order that I'm going down the list.
I want to go relatively early in case there's information I can pick up with a perception or like some kind of other check that I can pass along to inform other turns.
Sure.
I think Oski being first, since he's there first, makes the most sense.
Yeah, I was gonna say I want to be either first or last.
Yeah.
One of the two.
I think Oski first, then Kashak,
Okay.
and then Bastro Twinkletoes or Twinkletoes Bastro.
I'm down to go not last.
If you elect
Okay,
to go
I'll go.
last in this initiative tracker, would you start with Panache?
No.
Yes.
It's not combat. Yeah.
The answer is yes. We're going to treat it as yes.
Okay. Second question. Oski, what's your perception modifier?
Plus 15.
Kashak?
Perception modifier is plus 21 if it involves sight.
Okay. And if it
EG,
doesn't,
what-
it's 19?
What just happened?
20 if not.
Hold on. Did anyone else just see that?
No, we
You
can-
missed it beforehand. Sorry, Ben.
Bastro, perception?
15.
Twinkletoes,
Oh, I found it.
What was the question? Sorry.
your perception modifier.
16.
My players are easily distracted.
Sorry.
Diplomacy. Oski.
Diplomacy is plus 16.
Kashak.
Diplomacy is plus 0. I also have a question.
Hmm.
How would my scout's warning feat potentially play into this? Is that going to be case by case? The trigger is we roll initiative.
Yeah, if I have you roll initiative, it'll play in.
Okay. I'll call it up then.
Bastro, diplomacy.
20.
20.
20, yeah.
Twinkletoes.
16.
Kashak, deception.
0.
Okay. Oski, deception.
He stepped away.
Oski, deception.
Oski. Deception.
Oski. Oski. Twinkletoes.
Osk.
20.
20. Bastro.
You're still muted, Ben.
Bastro.
Deception is 17.
Okay, moving on since nobody else important is left.
Mhm.
Ben, what's your
Ben,
deception?
you're muted.
I'm muted. What?
Oh,
Hello?
now
Now
you're
you're not
back.
muted.
Okay.
What's your deception?
Can you not?
I can hear you.
No, I can hear you now.
Your mic's all messed up.
Yeah, it sounds like you're a million miles away now.
What'd you do to your mic?
Yeah, you shouldn't have gotten up.
Hello?
There
Yeah.
we go.
Yeah.
There it is.
Nothing changed. Okay, sorry. 4 for deception.
Very good.
Not 24. 4. 4.
A flat 4.
He's a lover, not a liar.
4 charisma. Untrained proficiency.
Very good.
Yep, that's what that is.
There will be times where I ask for specific roles, but I want to focus on the narrative. So I will be rolling a lot of those 3 checks for you.
My
throughout
athletics
this
is
time.
plus 18 for when you need that as well.
Okay.
Yeah, that's bonus.
I'm a big fan of the secret athletics checks.
yeah.
So why don't I set the scene a little bit. Oski, with about 30 minutes left, leaves the hideout, still dressed in his work clothes. The rest of you, shortly thereafter. Oski, most of your time, you come in through the back kitchen entrance, as you always do when you clock in for work. And you're set about cleaning glasses, setting out, basically doing barback work. You're cutting lemons and limes, you're restocking straws. They have wooden straws, it's very fancy. You're like folding napkins and cutlery. So you're just kind of waiting for your part to take place as the head chef, Chef Pachiro, is already off reaming some poor line cook who showed up 5 minutes late for the most important night of her career, is Pachiro's words. Kashak, Twinkletoes, and Bastro. You all, now dressed in your formal attire, begin to make your way towards the Lucky Nimbus Casino. As you arrive, you notice that the fountain out front has been magically illuminated in like this like soft pink and blue that just kind of rotates and shimmers back and forth as these globes of magic light slowly spin in the water. And there's a line of patrons, guests to the gala, that stretches out from the red carpeted front doors. Two of them, in fact, going along the double staircase that runs adjacent to the central fountain. Eventually,
2 lines?
yes, there are 2 lines, one going up each set of staircase, or going up one of each of the staircases that lead to the front door. Eventually, the doors open precisely at 8 o'clock. You hear a far-off bell tower ringing, and just as it does, the doors open inward, and you see a complete change in the casino. While you've been there, it's predominantly been dimly lit. Not like low light, but it's been dimmer, a much more kind of diminished presence. People playing cards. It's a casino. If you imagine a standard casino, it's like really the only lights are coming off of like lamps at the tables. There's plenty
Well,
of
you're
them.
cutting out a lot right now.
Okay, is this better?
We won't know until you start
I don't know
monologuing.
why. Again, it's working on OBS. It's just Discord for some reason doesn't like me.
It never does.
The casino is now filled with bright, colored lights. You look up, and as you're looking up to the door at the top of the staircases, you can see kind of the inside of the roof of the Lucky Nimbus has been enchanted to have like a sky, like a daytime sky. This vivid blue covers the entirety of the ceiling, and clouds royal actually moving across. You see that there, once more, the inner fountain that you can see beyond the double doors, again cascading now this bright pink, although in this fountain the water itself has been changed, not just lights floating around, but the actual magical fountain itself has been altered. You see the line begin to move, and as each guest approaches, the two bouncers at the front door check an invitation. One checks an invitation, the second checks a list. This is your first obstacle.
What?
I'm going to go down the list, and Oski, you're out of this one since you're not with everybody for the obstacle. But what would you like to do? Is there anything you would like to do in your first turn, Oski? Or not? Did you all hear me?
We heard you.
Did.
You might not.
Okay. Ben, can you hear me?
No.
I'm gonna
I
take
don't
that
think
as a
you can.
no. All right,
Yeah.
sick. Okay. Twinkle Toes. You
Why am
are
I going first?
you are the holder of the forged invitations.
Oh, okay. Okay.
If you just let me
Sorry.
finish my sentence.
Long pause.
It's dramatic pause. You have, with your forged documents, significantly reduced the DC to overcome this obstacle, but each one of you is going to need either a deception or diplomacy to get in with the invitation, or you could attempt to sneak your way in through the front door with a stealth. Kashak, you are first in line of the three of you. You step up, and one of the bouncers holds out a hand. Invitation, please.
Of course, right away. And he receives, I'm sure, the invitation from Twinkle Toes. Passes it along. Name's Frank. I'm here on a bodyguard detail for the Hammermans back here.
Okay. And I will need a diplomacy, a deception, or a stealth from you on this one.
How would stealth work in this case?
Pass them the invitation, and then before they can double check, you slide on in.
Yeah, the whole idea is like while they're just like going over the list or something else is happening, you find an opening to slip in without their notice.
Wouldn't that just be an automatic awareness point?
Only if you
This
fail.
guy gave me an invitation and then effed off.
Aren't these invitations good? Didn't we pass the check to make them? Why are we worried about this?
Because we're not on the list.
Oh, did I miss that? Sorry, my audio is like freaking out. Did I miss that?
Yeah.
Oh, we're not on the list. Oh, that's great.
Well, you are, but the three of us aren't.
Good luck.
Chuck, what did you roll?
Let me roll stealth. It's my best skill by far.
And I should mention he's like talking to all three of you at the same time. I'm just going to Kashak first, since he's
That's fine.
so
I rolled a 33 on the stealth.
okay. Twinkle Toes.
I'm gonna roll deception.
Okay.
36.
Bastro.
I'm rolling diplomacy. Jonathan.
Get the full spread.
It's very nice.
Jonathan.
Jonathan.
33.
33. Lucille and Jonathan Hammerman are able to. This guy you notice is like going through and he's like H A no goes back, and you're both able to put on such a huff about this that one, it gives Kashak a chance to slip by as the other guy is like, no, it's got to be on there, and he like bends over to look at the list along with the other guy, and he's like, they're going back and forth between the invitations and the list. It's like, no, this is an invitation. Maybe it's an old list. They're going back and forth.
Yeah, I told you they'd put it in my maiden name. Here, check for.
Yeah, and this gives Kashak the opportunity to just whoop right on in. And after 2 minutes of this like conversation back and forth, and they're scratching their heads and they're confused. People behind you all are like starting to get anxious. You starting to hear like, "What's going on?" from like five people back, and the guards are like flustered. And they're like, "It's fine. Just go ahead. I'm sorry about the holdup." And all three of you make it in.
But my father will be hearing about this.
Hammerman Senior, yes.
That's his father.
Different line. You all make your way in, and again, this area is now beautifully lit by magical torches that line every 10 feet along the walls, and then this brilliant sunlight that is emanating from the ceiling. As you enter in, there is a man standing at a podium, a very well-cut black tuxedo, cummerbund, and a black bow tie. He welcomes you all in. Yes, guests of the gala tonight. Our main attraction, if you take a look to my left and my right, and he gestures to a number of wooden tables that are scattered throughout the room. There are these, you're not on the map, but when I bring you all to the map in T-minus 2 seconds. Nope, I'm not moving the map, I'm moving the players. Boom. All of these smaller wooden tables that are like near the fountain, all of them have a number of objects on them. And he says, yes, the silent auction will be running all night. Please do be sure to be here at the end of the gala when the winners are announced. But again, as part of your invitation, it was expected for everyone to bid on at least one item as part of the charity event. So please peruse the objects. You may make your bids on the provided lists, and do be sure to attend for the announcement of the winners at the end of the ball. We appreciate your patronage, and, the Gossamer auction, as you well know, having been informed in your invitation, does benefit the... Where is it? It does benefit the victims of the Fiend Flesh siege, so please do your best to take the auction with a bit of seriousness. Thank you. It is seemingly expected for everyone to at least make a sizable bid on something.
All right.
We're talking sizable here.
Hey,
Yeah, it's a good thing we didn't just buy a bunch of items.
can I borrow some money?
As you'll have a chance to see what an appropriate bid would be as you peruse. But with that, he also mentions the bar at the back is stocked with anything that you could possibly want. In about 30 minutes, the hors d'oeuvres will begin to make their rounds, and we look forward to a good night and a good festival to come. Thank you all so much. And then he begins to, motion for you all to make way as the next guests behind you come up, and as you're walking, you hear the spiel start all over again. You look around to see some very just obscenely wealthy members of high society, not only from Absalom, but you see members of the Minkai delegation. You see Varisians, you see Taldans, you see Ulfins, even. This is an official Radiant Festival event, and anyone of import who happens to be in Absalom, anyone of wealth, is probably here. Not necessarily, leaders of countries, but the various high society members that have made the trip seem to be in attendance. We're going to start our first official round, the first 10-minute increment, as you all begin your heist. Oski, you have been told to make the rounds with a tray of drinks. The drinks are given to you. It's just like little cocktail glasses, like martini glasses that you've been given to begin your foray. What would you like to do?
I think the first thing I want to do is maybe as I'm walking around and coming back in and collecting more glasses is find a moment with Gitsy. And I wanna talk to Gitsy and just ask Gitsy if she knows where Gage, if Gage is gonna be here, if he's gonna make a speech.
Mm-hmm.
Does he usually like mingle with some of the upper echelon people? Like see if she knows anything about where he might be.
Sure.
During this whole escapade. So yeah, he's like walking around serving drinks, and when he goes back in to get a refill, he'll maybe like catch Gitsy making up something and just be like, Gitsy, I just was curious, I haven't seen Gage around quite yet. Is he going to make an appearance tonight? Do you know?
Oh, yes. Oh, absolutely. I mean, he's probably upstairs in the VIP room right now, seeing some more of the VIPs, but he'll make a small speech, and then he'll mingle on the main floor soon, I would expect. Probably once we start the first round of food, he'll welcome everybody, and then begin to greet some of the I don't want to say less important, but some of the non-VIP guests.
Do we know where the VIP section is? We've explored, I think, most of this, at least first layer. Is that upstairs?
She did say upstairs in the VIP section.
Is that like up these stairs? Would we know that or no?
I think you would. So you have not specifically been privy to the VIP lounge, but you would know that it is up those double stairs.
Okay. Well, I would maybe ask Kitsy, how are they on service up there? Do they need an extra hand? I can run some drinks up there if it might be beneficial.
I wouldn't know. I mean, you could always ask Pachiro, but I think they have their own staff up there. Well, I mean, they do have their own staff up there, but I don't. Yeah, I'm just a chef. I don't know about the serving staff.
Thank you. I'm gonna find Pachiro then.
Sure.
I don't know how much of an action I can take here.
It's 10 minutes. It's 10 minutes.
Okay.
Pachiro is taking out frustration on a what looks to be like a cow leg, like all the way up to the haunch. That she's got like the ankle of the cow hoof in one hand, and is just hammering a meat tenderizer and like breaking like obviously not standard practice, but she seems to be getting out stress and frustration on this poor hind quarter of the cow. As you walk up to her, you just hear like, stupid fucking chefs can't do their jobs.
Pachiro, I don't mean to bother you, but
what?
I'm curious. Does the VIP section need assistance with drink service? I can run additional drinks up there. I know guests are filtering in now, and I just wouldn't want them to be without, their sups.
Are you trying to get a raise out of me?
I'm not even asking for any money, not at all. I am merely asking if I can be of assistance to make sure our guests of the important quality are experiencing the best possible venue and event that they possibly can.
You failed your diplomacy check.
Do I want to spend an edge point already? I don't know if getting into the VIP section. VIP section sounds juicy. Can Can I poll the audience here? What do y'all think? Is the VIP section anything to write home about?
Yeah, go for the edge point.
Yeah, I kind of think
Do
the
it.
VIP section could be interesting. I'm gonna spend that edge point to turn edge point, the one as a waiter, so not the one with Gitsy,
Right.
to turn the failure into a success.
Okay. She puts down the mallet and like grabs a hand towel and a small like wash bucket and begins washing off her hands, drying them. Like, it's an awkward 45 seconds as you're just standing there next to her as she's doing this. And she looks at you and she says, if they need more help, I'll send you. But if you fuck up one time, I swear to God, your ass is going to be out of this kitchen so fast, you won't even know the meaning of BIP.
Oh, Pachiro, if I fuck up, you won't even see me. I'll take my own ass out of this place. Don't worry.
At least somebody has some initiative. And she goes back. She like begins to grab a knife and start carving the haunch. Very like, get out of my way as she is. Like,
Be mad.
Yeah, can I just take this as an invitation to go up there? Like, she said if they need help, but like...
she
I
said
don't
she
know if
would
they actually
send you
will.
if they needed help.
That's like an illusory offer, though. Oh, man. Okay. All right, I'll deal with it for now. Okay.
Kashak, you are now
What's up?
in the area proper. What would you like to do?
I want to get a lay of the land scape a little bit once we've seen some guests. I want to, I guess, particularly look for anybody who seems a little bit Shadington, like any Slim Shadys in the room or some shadier folks.
Yeah, you begin to peruse. You're immediately struck by a number of the objects that appear to be up for auction.
I'm struck by the objects.
Yes. They fly off the tables and
Blood damage.
slam
Yeah.
into your face. Yes.
And I'm dead. See you guys.
Somebody's casting telekinetic projectile at you. No, I mean, you see a number of fine items, a variety of rare books. You see, like, histories of, like, Varesia, you see paintings, you see a number of framed paintings, some sculpture, some pottery, some jewelry. It seems to be various things from, again, across Galarian. You see one painting in particular, and you look down and you read the card, and it just says, donated by the Jade Empress Ameko Amatatsu, the Rusty Dragon, and it is a framed picture of an inn with a hanging sign, Rusty Dragon, over which is the skull, taxidermied head of a red dragon painted in, and behind it you just see a large looming tower, almost like a lighthouse, but much grander in scale, it seems, than any you had seen. You continue on your way, and there seems to be some kind of treatise of elemental power. It seems to be like a meditational guide to unlock the ability to control water, ice, and fire. You're not sure how legit that might be, but it seems to be going for a fair price.
Okay.
You just continue on your way. You see, again, just jewelry and things of that nature. As you're perusing, you happen upon conversations, many people making remarks about, oh, you know, can you believe that the Count bid 350 gold for this piece of junk? Like, things of that nature. And as you're going through, you don't necessarily notice anyone shady. People seem to make way for you as you go in any particular direction. People seem to kind of part around you, seemingly aware of the fact that you are a large lizard in a suit.
And he would be exceedingly polite to account for that. I think that he's getting used to the looks, or rather expecting the looks more often. And he's going to tell every single person that he passes, oh, excuse me, pardon me. Excuse, right behind you, on your left, pardon me. Every like over the top apologetic for even like his existence.
Mm-hmm. Bastro, is there anything you're looking to do?
Bastro is going to look at at Lucille, and is going to beg his wife, "Can I please have some gold? I need some."
Darling, I'm sure it'll be fine if we bid on an item together.
Oh, I was gonna go hit the tables.
Absolutely not. Nope.
No.
Yes, dear.
And
I think that both of us, I guess, would just be perusing the items.
Sure.
Yeah, to start getting a lay of the land, seeing if there's anybody I recognize.
Anybody you recognize?
I used to make deliveries from some rich folk
Right.
some rich folk in this area.
Not in this district.
Okay.
But, and not really that you recognize. So, this seems to be an event that is, while there is some Absalonian, or what you would assume to be Absalonian, guests, this appears to be very largely foreigners. Very predominantly foreigners that have been invited to invest money in the gala to help Absalom's
Recovery.
Yeah.
Okay.
So again, there are certainly a number of Absalonians that you would assume just by body language, by speech pattern, by accent, but like 75% foreigners.
That's been a recurring theme. I mean, it was only foreigners that were getting abducted by Pratchett. It's only foreigners who were invited to the casino.
One other question. Can I roll an Absalom lore to pick a name of a wealthy family that might be obscure enough to say is my maiden name?
What's your bonus?
13.
You're thinking, you're like, obscure, but not too obscure, not crazy important, because I would trip some bells, not super rich, but maybe like at least a little bit rich, right, to be here. Pardon me while I pull up the heritage list of famous Absalonian families.
Sorry.
You get make a name. I have the results. Make a name.
Okay. I'll get back to you in like 5 seconds once I think of it.
Sweet. Kashak, you're noticing.
Tribido. It's Tribido.
Tribido.
Yeah.
Kashak, you're noticing that there are casino bouncers that are floating as they were previously. But you do see that there are two people dressed similarly to the concierge at the desk that greeted you that appear to be making rounds around specifically the tables and seeming to be checking the lists of bids and marking off things on a tablet or on a parchment that they're carrying with them. See that they're keeping active tabs on the bidding and taking note of who has placed bids.
Okay.
If you all, there's a couple of things you all can do. It's becoming increasingly clear that you are expected to make a bid. What you could do is roll a society or a deception to attempt to make a bid that is both high enough to be considered polite, but not so high that you actually win, unless that is your objective with a particular item.
Okay.
So this is our first group obstacle. You need a certain number of infiltration points that are demarcated by successes on these skill checks over the course of a period of time.
Okay.
So Kashak, Twinkletoes, Bastro, if you could please roll me either a deception or a society.
30 deception.
Bastro? I already like the look on Kashak's face.
I got a 20.
20? Kashak?
12 deception. Not trained in any of these skills.
It sort of makes sense for our bodyguard, though. You know, like.
And
Oh, throw me under the bus as the uncouth.
and
brute
as
that you are, yeah.
as you all write your name on various items, and you notice multiple people going to like multiple pages and writing things down, so maybe you kind of
Didn't hear any of that.
as you're going through and making your bids. You're watching other people go from item to item and set maybe 2 to 3 bids on multiple items. Maybe some of you do the same, and across the 3 of you, a number of bids have been placed. We'll find out the results of those bids at the auction.
Are there any specific items that caught my eye?
Is there anything... What would catch your eye?
Things that seem related to the skin saw cult?
Certainly
Or
not.
things. What?
Certainly nothing that is
Cool.
openly related to the Skinsaw cult, no.
Cool. Anything related to the Alamars?
No.
If I see Alamar on any of the lists for the bids too.
You do not. If you're specifically looking, you do not see the name
Okay.
Alimar.
Cool. Anything like actually practically useful looking for somebody who likes to dance.
For somebody who likes to dance. Yeah. Useful, not necessarily. It's more
Okay.
of a collection piece. If I can find my book. Here it is. You find a pair of dance shoes. I would say they're ballet in style, but you can tell that they were made for a creature with non-humanoid feet. I will give you a name and but there's like a famous dance hall in Absalom which I could pull out if you gave me 5 minutes, but it is essentially like a famous dancer that performed at this hall. Their shoes are up for auction
Cool.
as like a collector's item.
That's the one I put my bid on.
Okay. And as you all place your bids, you see that the pages, I say pages in like the title of a person, like the title of a job, page. The 2 pages that you saw circling around follow very shortly after, checking up on the lists that you signed. Gonna go to round the second. At this point, it's been about 20 minutes since the doors opened, and you all have made your way in. You've perused the silent auction and made your bids, and the room just continues to fill with people. At this point, you notice that on the small stage to the north of the room, a small trio of halflings. I say that it's a small band and they are small trio of halflings is setting up a stringed triad, a small string set that they begin to play shortly thereafter. And it's kind of your stereotypical like classical ambiance music. There's a bass, a viola, and a violin that begin to play.
No cello? Rude.
No cello.
So rude.
They skipped baritone. They went straight from bass to alto. But they just, again, they set up. There's a small like announcement of like the name of the band. If anyone has good band names for a halfling string triad, go for it. And you all are sort of not forced deeper in. You're not like actively pushed, but the crowds, as people are filtering in, you kind of just find yourself naturally making your way towards like the gambling tables and towards the bar section. You all see Oski go around, do a few laps, and like you all clock each other. You clock each other's positions as you begin to keep track of what's going on around you. And
2.5 strings.
2.5 strings. That took me a second. Solid 6 out of 10.
Right. We're workshopping.
Yeah. And you all, again, find yourselves, after you've kind of done your time, find yourselves sort of in this area.
Okay.
What would you all like to do?
We're in the second slot of time.
Yeah.
Is it drink service or do we have to go to the bar?
There are specific like specialty cocktails that are being made in bulk, but if you wanted something specific, you would have to go to the bar. There's basically like martinis, vodka tonics, and like basically like whiskey that's going around on trays, and wine that are going around on trays. Anything else, you'd have to go to the bar.
We'll take one of those martinis.
Same.
They're dry.
Kashak will take one, but he won't drink any of it.
Okay. On the job,
Have-
Kashak, really?
Do we spot Gage anywhere amongst the crowd?
You do not. You have not yet seen Gage.
Okay. Then I will remain not engaged. That's fine.
Maybe we should go towards the what's it called, stage. I'm sure
Yeah.
they'll make an appearance.
Okay. So you kind of make your way up there. Oski. Anything specific you're doing? Any other information you're trying to glean from various people? Any specific places you would like to attempt to go? Oh,
Bye, G.
lost EG, messed up my
Well,
entire overlay.
Sorry.
There we go.
Sorry. Happened.
So, if Oski doesn't get a cue to go to the VIP section, he's just gonna go. That he knows Gage is up there. That's where he wants to go. First, he may again have a moment with Gitsy.
Okay.
Gitsy. Well, what is she doing, like, at this specific moment?
At this point, she is, well, she's doing a couple of things, right? She's a sous chef, so she's checking in on pars at different stations. She is making sure that they're getting accurate counts on some of the trays that they're preparing of the hors d'oeuvres. They're making sure everything is finished. You see that she, like, notices a tray where, like, a garnish sauce hasn't been plated yet, and so she, like, grabs a ladle and the finished sauce and just begins finishing the plates herself. She's, like, in a flurry right now because the first wave of food is about to go out.
Let's see. I know we're in the middle of showtime, as it were.
Yep.
I have
A little busy.
a crazy idea I want you to do, and I will help as much as I can.
Okay, all right, go. And she's, like, still ladling furiously.
Working, yeah. Make your cassoulet tonight. Do it.
You must be absolutely
No.
insane.
And he will literally grab her face and say, "No, tonight. Trust me, we can do this. Fuck Pachiro. Fuck the nonsense. Your cassoulet is amazing. Make it tonight. We can do this."
She, like, drops the ladle, and it just, like, a ladle full of this like bechamel or whatever, I don't know, one of the French sauces, mother sauces, whatever. Not a chef myself, you can tell. Like, drops to the ground with a clatter. And she's like, I mean, I appreciate the offer, but it would take a few hours. And if she saw all of the prep that would go into it, especially to make more than a few servings, I don't know, Oski. I don't think we can do it.
Yeah, one serving. All you need is one serving.
God damn it, Oski. She says, okay, fine. She, like, picks up the ladle. She tosses it at a busboy who's, like, running through the kitchen, and he just catches it in the chest. Front apron covered in bechamel now, as she runs and grabs another one. And she's like, all right, this is what I need. And she, like, gives you an ingredients list. She's like, I need you to clear one of the burners. I need you to grab a pot, grab a flank of pork, and there should be like a barrel of beans in the storeroom. Like, if you can get all of that, barrel of beans, yeah, I know.
Barrel beans.
Barrel of beans. If you just grab me a barrel of beans, Oski. And she, like, gives you this ingredients list. She's like, I've already got that over there. I can, the shallots here. Yeah, that's all I need. If you can grab it out of the storage room for me, and just be very discreet, okay? All right?
Gitsy, I am your sous chef now. Yes, chef.
Okay. And she slides
By the
you.
way, the whole time, I'm still listening to hear if, like, hey, VIP needs help. I'm still, like,
I am
Oski's
your
keeping
sous
an ear
chef.
out.
unless I get it promoted to VIP. Um,
Not promoted unless I get called briefly to the VIP section.
but she gives you the key to the storeroom, which is this room right here.
Oh, cool.
Which is what room?
It's this little black square in between the doors in the kitchen. Yeah. Not super exciting, but hey, congrats! You unlocked the storeroom for the
Hey.
kitchen.
I solved your storeroom puzzle.
Curse you, Oski, and your ability to ask people things. Very good. Kashak, Bastro, Twinkletoes. You're all going about mingling. Anything you want to discuss? Any plans that you want to formulate?
Yeah, actually, could I try I'm thinking maybe like warfare lore check to assess the exits and the accessibility to them for the eventual kind of escape plan, and if there's anybody like gregarious who maybe is blocking the way or could be an obstacle later on.
Sure. Are you mostly doing this in the main room, or are you splitting off and like doing a full perimeter? What are you looking at?
Yeah, we're kind of over by this like bar seating
Yeah.
area, right? Kind of there. We obviously know the front entrance, and then like so this exit primarily, and then if there's anything else that he can spot about maybe the windows or anything else.
Sure.
There's no windows, you said.
What's your warfare alert?
Plus 14.
So you're looking around. You notice that it seems to be about the same number of bouncers that were kind of patrolling the area as during a normal business day. So you think that they kind of have a max capacity, and that's why this might actually work, is because there are just so many people here, so many more people here than on an average business day, but the like ratio is still the same the number of guards, not the ratio, but the number of bouncers is still the same, making the ratio much better to just kind of blend in. You're checking doors. The front entrance is a large double door with 2 bouncers at it, the same 2 that checked you all in. This back rear door that you see down this hallway here, this appears to be just like a service exit. It appears to be like off limits. There is I'll even put a token there. There's like a guy chilling right there at the corner, making sure people don't go down that hallway. As you look to the north, and this was something that you scoped during your investigation of the area, there are these double doors in the theater, like the main hall theater. They seem to be emergency exits. And while it doesn't appear to be any guards stationed there, there is a big sign that says for emergency use only. You're unsure what would happen if you tried to leave through there. Whether it's locked, whether it's unlocked, if there are
Whether
any
you're
other...
immediately transported into a jail cell if it's not an emergency.
Greater teleport to jail.
Yeah, exactly. You solved my greater teleport to jail trap.
Aha! Didn't even have to roll for it.
Those are the only exits that you know of. Obviously, Oski may have told you that there is an exit down the side hall next to the stage. So you know about that one, but those are the literally 4 only exits to this building.
Yeah. Front
No
door,
windows.
off limits, side door, double door at the stage. Where's the exit outside the
It's gonna
the one
be
on the right?
yeah.
Northeast. Yeah, okay.
next to the stage here in that
All
little
of
back
them.
hall.
This is the chair to the vault, right?
That is a they're called a flying chair. Not that you would necessarily know that, but it's essentially an elevator pulley system. You all saw that there was a bouncer who was in a wheelchair. And he seemed to be relatively important because he had 2 bouncers following him at all times.
Bouncer with 2 bouncers?
maybe like I don't know, like a head bouncer. But he was wearing the bouncer garb in a wheelchair, and he was using that those two elevators as you watched. I call them, they're basically elevators, but they're self-drawn chairs with pulley
Like
systems.
lifts.
Yeah, to go between floors, it would appear.
How do we get to the vault again? What specifically do we do?
Oh, I didn't cover it up, but it is
That staircase.
this
back
staircase back here. Baster would have
Similar,
told you.
similar thinking.
Yeah, Bastard would have definitely told.
He'll turn to Kashak will turn to the crew and say, "All of the exits are significantly farther from the vault than I would like. Seems as though we have our work cut out for us in terms of our escape plan."
We just gotta cause big commotion. As soon as we grab the lockbox, then we can just get out. That's what I'm thinking.
Most likely rely on you for that, then, friend.
Me?
I was gonna rely on Twinkle Toes for that distraction.
She'll very likely have the object in hand. You, however, can make lights shoot out of your fists or whatever the hell you do.
True. One of us will do it. Whoever doesn't have the goods.
I can run around and, shout something in Uruk-hai, but that's, one, offensive to my culture, and two, not our best play if we have to reveal my face to the world.
Well, it's all about getting the key first. So we still have to wait for whatever his name was. Grix?
Gage.
That's why I said Gage.
Gorb, something like that.
And as you're having this conversation, you hear a hush begin to fall over the crowd. And you turn towards the stairs leading down. And you see none other than Gage Carlisle stepping down from the VIP room, wearing just a resplendent, and I'll even show you again, a just resplendent, almost, you would have to swear that it was slightly sparkling, white tuxedo. Looking something like this. With
That's
a single...
Hugh Grant?
Yeah, basically. Again, this hush falls over the crowd, and he's standing kind of, and you all have made your way, as you mentioned, like kind of towards this stage area up here at this point. He comes down. Oh, he's on the wrong layer. And kind of like comes to the bottom of the stairs here. And I flipped the entire... That's not what I meant to do. Didn't mean to turn them like that. But they're standing there. They come down, and Gage is flanked on either side by two bouncers. And he's got a glass of wine in one hand, and he does the classic ding, 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 ding. The crowd is already quiet, but he clearly wanted to make a show of it. And he looks out across all of the assembled guests, amongst which you all happen to be pretty close to the front. Twinkle Toes, you see him scan the crowd, and he sees you, and he just gives you a little nod and a wink. And he addresses the crowd, and he says, "Thank you all so much for coming out to the Lucky Nimbus tonight, this most special night, as we toast to the survivors of the Fiend Flesh Siege, and we support the families of those who were lost, those who lost their homes, those who had the misfortune of returning after death, and those they left behind. Please, if you have not had the chance, view our inventory in the Gossamer auction, while a small fee of each of the items does go to the expenses of this night, rest assured that the vast majority of the profits do go to charity.
Do we believe that?
Yes.
Okay.
He seems very business savvy. And with what you've learned about Gage, he is actually fairly above board. When it comes to the casino, you're not aware of any other dealings that he may have. But everything that you've heard about Gage, about the casino, while he is certainly a cutthroat businessman, and the morality of operating a casino can be judged as you see fit, it's all done above board, and he clearly has a knack for public image and public persona. So he's milking the opportunity to, while, he's going to make plenty of money tonight on the gambling, he's taking the auction opportunity to
Why not make more money?
You trust what he's saying at this point in time. Please help yourselves to the drinks at the bar. Of course, the bar is open, so do not be inhibited. Meet these wonderful people, and he again sweeps out and gestures from all across Galarian as we celebrate the Radiant Festival and the gala tonight. And I welcome you to the Lucky Nimbus in earnest. And as he does that, he gives like a little bow. And Oski, you are on drink duty, going about the space. But as he bows, there's like almost this choreographed, the first set of food begins to come out, and all these hors d'oeuvres, like lines of other servers just begin exiting, walking in from a number of different places with his bow to usher in kind of the beginning of the gala. And that is where we're going to go ahead and take a quick 11-minute break. We'll be back at 8:50 Eastern Standard. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll be back in just a bit.
Don't go anywhere.
Welcome back, everybody. Uh, so the feasting commences, or I should say, the first course commences, as waiters again begin to disperse amongst the crowd at Gage's signal. And you all watch as Gage and his two bouncers begin to mingle. They begin to flit through the crowd, and he begins to greet guests, and you can tell that he's very sociable. And while he certainly doesn't greet every single person that he meets or that he sees, he is making beelines towards, specific people, probably people that he actually knows personally, at least at first, as he's going about his time. And he watches the crowd begins to disperse. People get drinks. People go to the game tables, which are now open, as the dealers begin to take their seats, and the gambling begins as well. And the gala begins to start in full swing as you hear the main stage music from a larger, since you all are kind of close to the main theater, you hear the main stage act begin to go with some operatic singer that is accompanied by a small set orchestra. And the energy of what was kind of just a quiet buzz begins to pick up as the gala livens. People begin to get inebriated. People begin talking more sociably after everyone's done looking through the silent auction, and people are making their way to seats at tables. The room is abuzz with energy and activity. And we begin turn 3, turn 4, turn 4.
3.
3. Third inside. First turn, yeah.
Okay.
Oski, what would you like to do?
So he's downstairs. Well, have I gotten a look into the storeroom yet? Have I been able to get in there? I mean, I assume
Absolutely.
I would have had to, right?
Absolutely, yeah. And you were able to procure the things that she asked for. Russ, what skill do you think would be appropriate? Maybe, do you have cook lore?
What am I doing? Why are you asking?
Essentially, you're trying to get these things to Gitsy, without it being obvious that she's going off script.
Okay. All right.
I know you're not a stealthy character.
Hold on. Bear with me. Cooking and food generally has been well established as being deep within Oski's religion. Deep within it. And I think that the nature of what he's asking Gitsy to do, which is follow her heart when it comes to food, and let that lead the way instead of this jerk Pachiro ordering her around, has a twinge of religiousness to it.
I agree, and but it's less the act of doing it and more the fact that you're trying to do it without raising Pachiro's ire.
Right, and so I'm using the divine protection of Bazluda to prevent me from being found.
I'll let you roll religion to raise a prayer, to pray to your gods you don't get caught.
Gladly.
But I'm sure that won't come back around to bite you at all.
Well, I'll take a plus 15 versus a 0 every day of the week, so... Oh my god.
Will you?
This game just hates me. I'm gonna hero point that. My god.
Burn it through those resources. Let's go, baby.
I Not even kidding. Rerolled a nat 20. Rerolled a nat.
There we go.
Mazluda's
So now-
great.
Nat 20 for a 35.
You are almost divinely familiar with the inner workings of a kitchen, the flow of a line, the way to maneuver yourself and items to make it seem like you are staying busy and on task, while you've had to mix in the religious aspects of your cooking, since it is not necessarily always viewed kindly in every space where you've cooked. And using that knowledge and that found skill, and with almost a supernatural inclination and guide to your step and your movement, you seem to be able to collect the ingredient list that was given to you and deliver it to Gitsy unnoticed, or at least seemingly without raising any suspicion.
The second thing I would like to do, if possible, is through talking with anyone in the kitchen who I can, whether it's Gitsy, listening to Pachiro. I don't want to talk to Pachiro, but listening to Pachiro or any of the other sous chefs. I want to find out what Gage plans on eating tonight. If there's a specific thing, or if he's going to order something, like I want to know what the plan is, if there is one. Like, does Gage have a specific course that's going to be provided, or is he just going to order something, or like how does that work?
Yeah. From what you're getting, it seems like he hasn't made any special arrangements. So from from the staff's approximation, he's probably just eating the same thing everyone else is, taking hors d'oeuvres as they come around, and eventually, he may special order something later in the night, but he hasn't made any specific preparations. He's essentially taking the same food everyone else is as it comes around. Would be the guess, is like maybe he gets a little tipsy, and by like 11:30, he might order room service to his room upstairs, but there's nothing.
Like Domino's Pizza?
Yeah. He might special order something up to his penthouse upstairs later, but as far as you know now, nobody has any word that he's doing anything else.
Okay, then at some point I'd like to run drinks and like walk by him, just like walk near him, see if he wants to grab a drink.
Which tray do you grab?
What are my options?
Whiskey, martini, wine. What was the last one?
Did I say?
Oh, gin and tonic.
Gin and tonic. Yeah, that one was for Jack.
If he's the host and it's early in the night, he's probably not looking to get plastered right now. So I'm gonna grab the wine tray and like walk around. It's like nice wine though, right? Like.
Oh yeah,
right?
It's a dry red of a notable vintage. It's like, it's the house wine, but it's good house wine for the clientele. Like they had to get something that was just like everybody could have this. We have enough so that everybody could drink a lot of this if they wanted to wine.
Yeah.
And there's probably there are special bottles available, but this is kind of just the standard fare.
All right, so I'll take the wine tray. I'll walk over to Gage first, and then I want to find my party after that and offer them drinks as well.
Okay, go ahead and roll me, since you are attempting to interact with Gage. Where is it? roll me a diplomacy.
Okay. It's not secret. I'm rolling.
No. I'm doing secret checks for a lot of the, like, there are certain things that are not secret checks. There are everything else is secret checks.
Take me to the casino. That's a natty 19 for another 35.
Okay. Yeah, so it seems like you came in at the perfect time because he just finishes talking to this dwarven gentleman with like a tuxedo. It's like almost like steel plated or like steel filament that is covering the entire, almost like a gold leaf, but it's like steel leaf, which, don't ask me the physics on it, it's a magical dwarf, like steel leafed tux that he's wearing, and this big black braided beard that goes down to his knees, and you hear them finishing up a conversation about the weather underground in the Five Kings Mountains, and Gage like chuckles, humors the dwarf, chuckling at some joke that he made about it rocking, and parts ways, and he's like, oh, thank you, thank God, and just like grabs glass and just says, what was your name again? I know you're new here. I'm sorry I don't get down to the kitchen very often.
Yes, sir. My name is Oski.
Oski, well, good timing. Thank you. And he just keeps trucking to the next guest as he begins to sip on the wine.
Yes, of course, sir. If you need anything else, just holler for Oski. I'm at your service.
And he just like turns around and over the shoulder, he just gives you a little like raised glass.
Can I do a perception check on him just to see if I notice literally anything as far as pockets, since I'm right up near him, if there are any like protrusions, if I can tell anything of like inside jacket pocket, back pockets, it's probably not, but I figure I should give it a whirl while I'm close to him.
So you are pretty astute in your ocular pat down of his person. You
Yeah? Yeah.
From that,
Yeah.
from Always Sunny.
Always Sunny.
Pat down.
Give me ocular pat down.
What do you mean? I already did it. It was the best descriptor I could use because like you just
No, it's perfect.
surveying his body sounds better. Like, he's got like no exterior jacket pockets. Like it's very stylized. I might be lying through my teeth, but according to he doesn't have any exterior jacket pockets. He does have a suspicious might not be the right word, but he does have a rather hefty gold chain, like how a pocket watch would be placed along the vest, that runs like from the belt. I guess he has a cummerbund on, so up from under the cummerbund, loops around one of the vest buttons, and then over to the vest pocket, the exterior vest pocket, much like a pocket watch would be displayed, but it's a hefty chain, and you would assume that he has interior jacket pockets, but it also does seem to be a custom piece, so you don't know whether or not he wanted interior jacket pockets. This would be something that an experienced pickpocketer would quickly be able to discern in the act of picking said pockets. But just visually, it's hard to ascertain much more than he does not have any exterior jacket pockets, and he does not have any exterior pants pockets.
He has no exterior pockets.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
Which, again, it being fully done in a tux and cummerbund is still a good deal of information. As you're looking at his form, he doesn't seem to have any, like,
No suspicious
wallet.
bulge.
Yeah, no wallet dent that you might see if somebody were carrying a 20-year-old wallet with 16 different gift cards in it that are for defunct businesses like
Circuit City.
yeah, Circuit City or what have you. Yeah, he doesn't have the dad wallet bulge in a pocket anywhere.
I want to find my party next and walk drinks by them.
Sure, you do so.
And I will first off, like, as I'm like, leaning down to, like, where are you all? Where are you all?
Right behind you.
Next to the stage, yeah. Not far.
And he'll hand you all. He'll hand you all drinks and maybe lean down and whisper, and he'll relay this information so we all now know it. And just say, is there anything I should be looking for back in the kitchens?
Any rumblings of other activities that are planned that Gage might be going to, perhaps more private events or anything special? I'm sure you'll hear about his movements first.
Any ways to make a big distraction? Like, if you were to set the whole kitchen on fire, for example, things like that.
There's a rather rowdy head chef. I'm sure I could set him. I actually don't know the gender of Kachiro. Her. I could set her off. I'm sure if that's what would be needed. I will also then share that, like, there's no set meals or anything planned for Gage, that he may order something, he may not. It's unclear. And then I'll walk back.
Oh, and Oski, if you can get the recipe for this pigs in a blanket, that'd be great. These are delicious.
Oh, don't worry. And he will upside, like, he'll push out his pocket and show that he's got like 3 stuffed in there.
That's my go. Yep, thank you. Thank you for your service. I will quickly say, Kashak would be careful to, like, dump his old drink and then get a drink that looks significantly different.
So it looks like he's getting drunk?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Duly noted. Oski, did I put you on the map? I don't think I did.
No, I don't exist according to the map.
Well, that's how you are in my head.
Wait, no, I do. I'm right here. I am. I'm on the map. I thought. Okay, thank you.
Give me a second.
So he walks back to the kitchen then.
Well, give me a second here.
Okay.
You finish this conversation, and you just walked away. We'll say you're having this conversation by the fountain to give you a little bit of a sound cover as you're discussing maybe some not so savory topics about your host and his proposed schedule for the night. When you hear a number of startled gasps coming from the front door,
Who's here?
you all turn
The disgruntled wizard?
to see a bouncer stumble in with 4 crossbow bolts sticking out of his chest and fall to the ground. Followed very shortly
What?
by 4 creatures quick on the now dead bouncer's heels.
Rival gang, maybe?
Ballistic turn.
Oh, I gotta say, I was not expecting this.
Can I say that I gave my cane to Bastro to carry for the night? And
Well,
have the Reaper's Lancet on me?
Well, this is
you-
actually something that I wanted to establish. What gear does everybody have?
I'm
on them?
wearing my armor with my Ring of Illusionment, or Ring of Disguise to conceal it.
Okay.
And like I just said, I'm wondering if I can have Bastro be using the Reaper's Lancet as a cane.
That
the
yeah, that's fine.
Cool.
Sure.
Bastro, what are you wearing?
So I have the Ring of Discretion on, so I just have like plain looking fancy clothes on.
Ring of
Just like the simplest, the simplest fancy clothes. But so I have my armor on and I have all my gear on. It's just everything's hidden.
Kashak.
I would think that I would be wearing my armor underneath of my suit as I'm still the bodyguard.
Is that medium armor?
Ghoulhide. I think it's
Hide,
medium.
yeah. Hide armor is medium armor.
Okay. I will keep that in mind. And Oski.
Also, sorry, my bow would definitely be in the bag of holding, which is on my hip. It's like I could take it out of the bag of holding. It's just gonna take me some time if I chose to.
Oski.
Yeah, so what are the odds that I could wear full plate underneath of my
0.
work attire? Yeah, okay. Okay, but I think Oski would make a case that the shield is like a religious artifact. Could he have that on his back?
He uses it as a tray for serving.
You stashed it somewhere, didn't you? Didn't you
Yeah,
stash it?
you
in a
specifically
closet?
stashed it somewhere in
Oh, I did. I've
In
no
the
idea.
kitchen.
A few weeks ago,
yeah.
Yikes. Okay, yikes. I
Which
do
means that it is
remember
not currently on your person.
Where did I stash it?
Like in one of the kitchen closets.
I think like somewhere in the mess of things back behind this oh, you can't see that. That's
Would definitely not be a bad idea to go get it.
back here.
Somewhere. Okay. All right. So I don't have my armor on me though.
Um, now that they have made an entrance, just double checking. Yes, these 4 creatures wearing, I say creatures, these 4 humanoid figures, wearing leather armor, like dark, like morose purple and black leather armor with flowing black capes and hoods over their face or over their heads, shrouding most of their faces. Step forward. You see that they're carrying hand crossbows in one hand and blades of some variety in the other. These long, almost curved blades. And one of them speaks up, pointing the blade at Gage as people just begin to disperse. You see bouncers grabbing, like, patrons. You see bouncers grabbing the crates of chips as well as dealers, and people are just scattering. Gage, meanwhile, is like standing just kind of in dumbstruck shock. This like expression, like confused expression on his face, is looking as this humanoid just points a blade at him, and in like hissing, broken common, you just hear, "Gage, you will pay for the trespasses you have committed," as he lifts the crossbow and takes a shot. I'm gonna need everybody to roll initiative for combat.
What? Scout's warning for Sheer. Add +2, everybody.
Dope.
Twinkletoes.
I haven't rolled yet. Give me 1 second. I'm not doing my after you for this.
Kashak.
36.
Sorry.
Kashak, 36.
34 for Twinkle Toes.
Twinkletoes, 34. Oski.
21.
Bastro.
29.
So the crossbow bolt think, leaves the hand crossbow. It strikes Gage in the arm, and he takes some damage. It is Kashak's turn.
These creatures are not on squares. Would you mind?
Yes, I would actually.
Okay. I'll be able to shoot them then because I said so. So let's draw.
This is the one that shot me.
Okay. Let's draw my bow, which is an interact action from the bag of holding. Seems like just a one action.
Yeah.
And then let's hunt the one that shot and fire.
Okay. Is that outside of your first increment or inside?
No, I'm at 110.
Let me make sure this map is
Checking.
by the rules.
checking. Let me roll first. Nope, just threw my die to Africa.
Yeah.
Ooh, man, 26.
26. Yeah, it's maybe maybe the splashing of the fountain, how they have those occasional like displays of water jets that aren't like always on. Maybe one of those displays just shoots up and your arrow goes through it at the last second, causing it to just kind of careen slightly off. You just barely miss.
Yeah, it was actually a 24 because I forgot that the range increment is.
Oh, you missed by you just missed. You just missed. You just straight up
Yeah,
missed.
I forgot how short range this is in second edition. But yeah,
You're using a short bow, right?
I am. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Okay, that's 3 actions. Yeah. Twinkletoes, you're up.
Okay, I'm going to start by doing a quick little flip off of the corner of this table, and calling out, "Hey, didn't you hear about the no weapons policy?"
Before drawing a weapon.
Not yet.
Okay.
And this is
She's
the-
yelling at me. Actually, she's not yelling at them. She's like,
Yeah. Also, like, if I don't unsheath the Reaper's Lancet and just use it as a cane, it looks like I'm just hitting people with a cane.
It's true.
So, I am using Fascinating Performance
Okay.
against this guy.
Okay.
Actually, all 4 of them because I'm a master.
What's
so
the range on
I
that?
can up to
Wait.
4 observers. There's no range.
I think
Oh,
it's just vision.
great.
If they can see you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I can fascinate up to 10 since I'm a master. So
Want to fascinate Bastro?
Huh.
no, I want to fascinate the 4 of them and Gage's bodyguards here.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Don't you want them to fight with us?
Possibly. Yeah, actually, just the 4 of them, and then maybe like 6 of the guests around them too, or something. I don't know.
Okay.
Okay.
Roll performance.
It's gonna be a 35.
This is against Will DC.
A will DC. Yep.
It is also incapacitation. So if these creatures are a higher level, it will be 1 success, 1 degree lower.
That is a regular success.
Nice.
Which is all I need for them to be
Fascinated for 1 round.
fascinated by me for 1 round.
Very cool. So, Jack, could you handle that in chat? Did I make
Yeah,
you a?
absolutely.
Did I make you a thing?
I don't see it. I didn't have chat open.
No. You're a mod, right?
Yeah, if it keeps happening, I'll do it.
Okay.
So that's my first action.
So you
Oh, I
you
just
fascinate.
reread this. It only works if I do it. The critical only works if I'm fascinating 1. So it's just going to be the one that shot Gage that I'm fascinating.
But it is a critical success.
Fabulous.
No, sorry. It's still a regular success. I thought you had something for that.
Yes. So if it's a success, I get a critical success if I'm using it against 1 person. So
Okay.
Which
he
you
is
need the
fascinated.
critical success to do anything with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He grabs his head in fascination.
Wow, what a nice flip.
Wow, Mom, cool cow.
And I, not the X. Okay. So I now have panache, which means that I have a nice, gosh, what's my bonus now to vivacious speed?
10 or 15.
It's 15. 15 until next level. So 45 feet of movement. I'm gonna go 5. Oh, well, actually, first I'm gonna snag the cane from Bastro, second action. Then I'm gonna go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45 to protect Gage. Better at fighting than you'd think. I'm protecting you. Yes.
Great.
Oh! It's ability.
Are you measuring on the DM layer? I love doing that. It's my favorite thing in the world. Very, very secret. Is that 60 feet? They patched that. That was not always the case. They made that a thing. Like, I think within the last couple of years. You fool.
Okay. Hits exactly.
All right, Bastard's going to run up 5, or I guess the tables are difficult terrain. Yeah. So I figured 5, 10,
Unless you're small and then you just
20,
run under them?
25, 30.
Okay.
Yeah, right there. Second action, he's going to call out to Gabe and his 2 lackeys.
Good old
Listen,
Gabe. Good old Gabe.
or Gage, not Gabe. You're right. Mr. Carlisle, please come with us. YouTube, please protect Mr. Carlisle. Defend him. And he's gonna try to make an impression. But you're standing behind him, and he's going to. Bastard wants to make an impression, try to get Gage to follow him. All right. Third action, Bastard will cast Life Boost on Mr. Carlisle. That's the Halo, right? Fast healing. Halo pops up around Mr. Carlisle, and Bastard will free action talk to him real quick and be like, if there's any like safe place to be, I'm sure this casino's surrounded, and you might want to find a secure place to hide out until the government's come down here. I can definitely take you there.
Rolls back like a worm.
All right. So I've got two options here. I either spend 3 turns running, grabbing my shield, and being back to be useful, or I just go all tentacles on these guys. Those are my 2 options.
What if you joined the Gage security detail?
I would be useless.
They don't know that. This is just as much, not to speak out of turn, this is just as much about getting Gage to think we're trustworthy than it is killing these creatures.
Right.
It's so generous.
So, well, I would argue that it's not lowest level, because the lowest level is a wooden shield, and this is 100% not a wooden tray. It's definitely metal.
You're right, it's made of pure silver, and it's able to bend your hands.
I would say it's the same durability as a wooden shield.
Isn't he using his shield as the tray?
Like, it's absurd that it wouldn't be like metal. What? Thank you.
Metal. They have metal trays, like even in
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Metal trays that's not that hard
So it's
to
metal.
make.
Just metallurgy. Not for the fanciest golem that's going to require a DC 58 million disguise check.
Yeah. I'm picking up what you're putting down.
My money's on just join in and be helpful and go with him and earn his favor.
Okay, so be helpful means all flavor. If I do that, it's 100% flavor. I will not be of any combat efficacy.
Right.
I think that's fine. Be with him. He already knows your name. Like go be his best friend and help him. That's what I would do.
Mm-hmm.
We can take these guys, most likely. And we are not the only people in this combat, theoretically. There's bouncers here.
All right, so yeah, I will spend 2 actions to get to there, and I'll spend a 3rd action to raise my shield.
Just like two-handed putting the shield up in front of you, the tray.
Yep.
Okay.
An arrow's going to go into that thing, and then you're just going to toss it.
yeah, he'll
That's
say,
going to be
"Don't
15
worry,
points of damage. That's dealt with, yeah.
Don't worry, Mr. Carlisle, we're here to help.
It is their turn. What is that? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 5, 10, 20, 25, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. They make it to here. And that is the end of round 1. Top of round 2. Just kidding. The other 2 need to go. This guy is fascinated, which means
Yep.
he can't use anything with the concentrate trait, which is very important.
Concentrate, trait.
You know what
Trait.
doesn't have the concentrate trait?
Right.
Crossbows. He's going to reload and shoot at Twinkle Toes. He's so fascinated that he just wants to put a bolt in you.
think he still gets a -2 though, doesn't he?
It's
Just the
checks
skill
only.
checks. Yep.
Ah. Okay.
Not a crit, but still a hit. 37.
Yep.
That is going to be 4. Ooh, max damage. 12 points of crossbow bolt damage. And we're going to go. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. 5, 15. He's got 50, so we'll go there. He runs up. He walks at you menacingly. This guy will do something similar. What's the range? That guy will actually take a shot at Kashak,
Hey, yo.
since Kashak tried unsuccessfully to shoot at them. Let me draw some lines. Oh, you for sure Z's have cover. Take a +2.
Okay.
Actually, that's pretty hard cover. That's like hard cover.
There's a statue in the middle. There's the place. There's like the walls of the fountain.
Yeah, that's hard cover. Take a +4 from the statue.
Okay.
Uh,
How many range increments are you outside of your?
1. That is still a. There's no way. That range is way longer than a hand crossbow.
And crossbow's 60 feet.
I'm just double checking because the thing, like.
There's
Yeah,
some abilities and feats that give you extended ranges. Yeah.
I guess it's just built into his character sheet.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. He's not actually outside of 1 range. It's in range. That's gonna be, when all said and done, a 39.
Oh. Well, thanks to the cover, it's not a crit.
Yeah, I mean that it was as good as he could have done without rolling a natural 20. So,
Okay.
it's gonna be 8 points of piercing damage. This one will actually sit, reload, and fire again at Twinkle Toes. This will be at a -5. 17.
Miss.
Opposite end of the spectrum.
That's none of them are near enough to me for me to do an opportune riposte.
Can you do an opportunity riposte against anybody in range, even if it's a range strike? I thought it was just a melee strike against you and you can hit them.
That's probably it, but I haven't read it in a while, so.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Top of round 2, Kashak. You just took an insane thread the needle crossbow bolt.
He moves to there. He moves 25 feet up with 1 move action. He's then going to enter point blank shot stance. And he's going to
This guy's
fire
for
an arrow at his
sure hunted.
hunted target. Yep,
Yeah.
absolutely. Let's roll better. We didn't. Let's hero point it. Screw it. Who cares? Good hero point economy. 33.
33. 33 is a hit, my friend.
Please.
Hot damn.
Oh.
Okay, what's the like shot stance? Okay, cool. To damage. Okay. That is 8, 9, 15 points of piercing damage.
15?
50. It's
Fif-
50 points of piercing damage. That's 15.
Oh,
1, 5.
okay. Alright. Alright, okay. Had me worried there for a second. I was like, who's this man who's breaking the damage record?
Will's stuck on our 16th level first edition campaign where everybody's dealing hundreds and hundreds of points of damage per round.
Hey, I did I only did 300 points of damage that round. With an archer. It was a lot of fun. First edition. If you haven't tried it, do it.
Bananas. Everything's exponential. It's wild.
It's so dumb. Once you hit 12th level, it's just unrecognizable as a playable
Video game.
game.
Yeah.
That's all 3 of your actions, right?
Mhm.
Okay. Some good damage. Some good damage. Twinkle Toes, you've been shot.
Yeah, it was pretty rude. I'm gonna 5, 15, 20, 20, 25,
Okay.
30, 35.
Okay. Now we're getting spicy.
And then I'm gonna... Yeah, let's do a quick draw thwack.
Okay. Roll me a quick society while you're doing it.
Okay.
Just for funsies.
Fabulous.
Just for shits and
Just to see
giggles.
if I can recognize these guys per chance.
Well, if you want to recognize these guys, that'll be a call knowledge. What you have to spend an action for, but
Gotcha. Well, my society is a 27.
very cool. You recognize the blades that they are wielding. They are
Oh.
elven curve blades.
Oh, a couple of nest elves.
If you want to know more, you can spend an action.
I will first, quick draw stab this guy.
Okay.
Okay. Oh my goodness, it's been a long time since I've used the Reaper's Lancet. Okay.
That is a really interesting mental image, though, because, like, normally, if you were dual wielding, right, you'd have to spend an interact action to draw each weapon. But if it's a sword cane, you spend the one interact action to draw the sword, and then you have a piece in both hands.
Yeah.
That's actually low key kind of nuts.
I think I'm pretty sure that's why sword cane is pretty low damage because that's like really strong.
2d6 is not that low.
Well, D6 versus like D8
Yeah.
for other swords.
Well, it's the
I mean-
I think it's the concealed part that really
Yeah.
pushes that over the edge. But still, I mean, that's pretty good with quick draw,
Cool.
man.
It's cool. You're drawing and slicing, and then you have the two weapons.
Yeah, that's nutty.
If it's gonna be a 31 to hit.
Oh yeah, that's a hit. As you just like, he's running up and he's trying to like position the curve blade to block your cane strike, but then you just come out with the blade inside and you slash across the arm. Solid hit.
I didn't hear a lot of that.
Oh,
Sorry.
well,
But it was cool for
but
sure.
the audience got it,
yeah,
Yeah.
it was awesome.
and I do this only for the audience.
I am going to then use my reaction to inject him with knockout dram.
You sneaky, sneaky girl. That is a fortitude save.
Yes.
Fortitude safe.
Give me one moment.
How'd you do there, partner?
You don't know.
How you doing?
I do need to. Do you skip the onset period if you critically fail?
If you critically fail it?
Yeah.
I think so, because you would just
Yeah.
go to 2 stages. Right? Isn't that the rule?
Right, but like, the question is whether or not you enter stage 1, stage 1 immediately, or if you go to stage 2 after the onset period. That's my question. We don't really deal with poisons a lot, so.
No, we don't.
For afflictions with onset times, once you fail your initial save, you don't gain the effects for the first stage of the affliction until the onset time has elapsed. If this entry is absent, you gain the effects for the first stage immediately.
On
Well,
a
if
critical
this
fail.
Well,
Af-
if this entry is absent, you gain the effects for the first stage or the second stage on a critical failure immediately upon failing the initial saving throw. but the entry's not absent. So I think you still need to go through the onset stage.
Yeah. On a critical failure after its onset period, if applicable, you advance to stage 2. So,
And I had totally missed the onset part of this poison, too.
How long is the onset?
A minute,
Well, unlucky.
for real.
he's up. I mean, he critically failed, so he will go unconscious after a minute. However, you don't know that. You just know that you hit him and you successfully injected it.
And I injected him with poison. Okay.
Maybe worth subduing him and then questioning him. He will
Oh.
go unconscious in a minute, so
Yeah. I should also probably roll damage for that. Also.
Oh, absolutely, you should.
All right. It's gonna be.
I'm kind of surprised we're not rolling damage right now.
8 plus 7. 15 points of damage.
Okay.
Um,
For the guy who's gonna go unconscious, you guys are certainly dishing damage on him.
and then third action, I do want to do a recall knowledge.
Okay, that's going to be society.
Okay.
Or actually, I spoke too soon. I would accept Arcana or Society until
Society it is.
you'll get
For
different
my
results.
non-magic user. It's gonna be a 23.
I'm just speaking out of my butt. If you have nature, I would let you re-roll that
Nope.
with nature. Okay. So with the 23 society, really all you're getting is that they clearly have elven features, but they are clearly not elves. They seem to be some off-branch of some variety. So you would think that they have some things in common with elves. And as you know, as you're going through, you're like, oh yeah, the elven curve blades, they're related to elves. Like, you
Can't
could-
hear you.
as you're looking at them, you've already identified the elven curve blades. They have elvish features. As you get up close, you see pointed ears under the cloak, but there's just dusk gray skin and like sunken sallow cheeks. They look like almost like the old school like Nosferatu vampire-esque. They don't have the fangs, but they have that very tight, like skull-tight facial features, sunken eyes, sallow cheeks, long pointed, almost bat-like ears that are like elf ears, but like widened. But unfortunately, with that, you're not able to get too much else besides the fact that they are elf adjacent.
Okay. Let's see, to my turn.
Okay. The person who disappeared, it is their turn. You ever try to move a token and then you just make them like, really wide?
yes.
There was a very, very wide, invisible elf adjacent creature just now.
Well, I don't know how this works very well because I'm stupid, but
Go on.
I have blind fight, which interacts very much with concealed and hidden creatures.
Blind fight or blind sight?
Blind fight with an F, as in Frank.
I believe that just gives you better odds once you've detected a creature. It is currently undetected.
Well, yeah. I don't have a flat check against concealed creatures. I'm not flat-footed to hidden creatures. I don't have a DC 5. It's a DC 5 flat check to target hidden creatures. But this guy's undetected, right?
Yeah, he's currently undetected. You could roll a seek to make him detected but not seen.
I have to pick a 10-foot square.
Or
It's
he
just
would be concealed instead of undetected.
Okay, that's cool.
And then
That's fine.
that would then.
Yeah, we'll see if it works. If I'm adjacent to an undetected creature that is equal to or less than my level, it's only hidden from me.
Okay.
So if it comes near me, I would better know.
All right. Very cool. This one, right here, is going to cast a spell. Also, this guy I just pinged on a different layer. That guy is going to cast a spell. This guy is no longer fascinated, right? He's only fascinated
Correct.
for one. Okay. So that drops off at the end of his turn. He's still very much hunted. This guy, you see just a splash of viscous green exit his hand as he thrusts it forward at Twinkletoes. Twinkletoes, I would appreciate it if you... Oh no, I gotta roll to hit. Never mind. Doesn't work the same. That is a 30... No. Yeah, 31 to hit. Which will hit you... so many different dice. That is... I've got to do the heightened math in my head too. Sorry, that is 14 points. Sorry, 13 points of acid damage as you are splashed by acid via the spell Acid Splash.
How rude.
They will then.
You
Like that? Like that description?
That was good.
20, 25? Yeah, I guess. No. I'll just go straight across. Start cutting off some options. Goes right to there with his third action. Bastro, it's your turn.
All right. With my uncanny awareness, which grants me motion sense, within 30 feet of me, am I able to detect where this potentially invisible foe may be?
I always forget that you have motion sense.
Antennae.
Creepy
Not
body
for antennae.
mods.
We're just going nuts.
What an interesting question. Hearing is an percent. You can usually sound that is hidden conditions that are absurd. Might be unaffected reasons. We seek best, and exercise sense can be used to make an undetected creature really hidden.
Yeah, so the creature, if he's within 30 feet of me, it wouldn't be undetected, it would be hidden. Because I'd be able to sense it.
Sorry, there was like 3 levels of Google that I had to go through. Oop. It's a really big jump. Is that really not? Yeah, snap to corner. That's better. Oh no, snap to center. Okay. Sorry. There is, in fact, a creature to your north somewhere. You would have to seek to figure out which square it's in.
Yeah, so first action he would seek, for sure.
Pick a 10 by 10 square. You're
You
searching.
said to my north. I'll pick right here in the corner.
On that corner right there? Okay.
Yeah.
What's your perception mod? I already have it. Never mind.
Yeah, it's that.
Okay. As far as you're aware, there are no creatures in those 4 squares.
All right. Second action, recall knowledge on these creatures.
Roman nature.
God. Nature. It's going to be a 23. I think it's the same as EG.
Same as I got. But I did Arcana. Or I did Society, not Nature.
So, 23, final answer.
Yes, final answer.
What you are able to tell, based on the way these creatures move, based on the way that they seem to shift, there's something just not quite right about their movement. As you're concentrating on them and focusing on them, their physical forms seem to jitter and shake. They are not from the material plane. They seem to be fey creatures, but they are not from the Feywild. They're not from the first world. You're like,
This is weird.
they're definitely fey, but they're not. They're like clearly not from the first world. I don't know what's going on.
So they have elven features, but they're not elves. And then they're sort of fey, but they're not fey.
Yeah, that's what we picked up so far.
That is
Yeah,
what you get
that's
from
weird.
2 failed recall knowledges.
That's what we're getting.
Yeah, that's weird.
Awful. Third action, Basher's going to run 5, 10, 15,
Oh, see you, Bester.
20, 25. That's where I landed.
All right, see ya.
Adios. He's going after Mr. Carlisle. Make sure he's safe.
Yeah, TT and I will just die to these creatures by ourselves then. That's
Hey,
fine.
you're a
Our own
ranger.
thing. Yeah.
Just stay away.
Kashak, you can argue on your turn.
I'm a little concerned about.
Oski, it's you.
Uski is going to move. Move first action. Go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. I have 30 feet of movement. I'm not in heavy armor.
Yay! Look at you, big guy.
Oh, I didn't even think about that last turn. Ooh, wait, that's actually big.
He is within 15 feet for your champion's reaction.
The other one.
One of them is, not both of them.
Whose fault is that?
Can you be more economical with your movement with that 30 feet? Or no? Was that most efficient?
It was two. Well, maybe. Actually, yeah. 'cause
Do you-
it was 2 diagonals.
Do you remember where
Well,
you
no,
started?
If I'm here, then the other one would be 20 feet away. So no, I'm in a space where I can't
You
get to
can't be
there.
here. Yeah, you can't
Yeah,
be
no,
up
I can't. I definitely
It's
can't get
5
there.
feet off, exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
That x-axis is too far. Yeah.
I'll enter Everstand stance, and then third action I'll recall knowledge.
Nature.
Ever stand
Great.
requires a shield, so this is the tray. It's the shield you're using.
You just see him like
Your-
squat down low, like almost doing like a haka as he holds the 2 hands out in
this
front of him with the
proud
shield.
dance of, like, your people and your religion.
Yeah.
With a dining tray.
How's a 19? It's a natty 16 for a. Yeah, I shouldn't have rolled.
You're
I forgot
not
it
even
was
sure
nature.
these things are alive. In fact, you almost might think that they're undead. They have this pale, like, ghastly appearance to them. Their skin is so thin, slightly translucent, but devoid of, like, blood color. that you would expect to see on humanoids. You think these are some kind of undead creature.
Okay. That's my turn.
They're undead, but they're not undead.
Eventually, all of these failed knowledge checks, we're going to catch up to you. Where to go from here? Gage continues his tactical retreat.
Remember, he keeps getting 10 points of healing.
He was fully healed last
Okay.
round.
Even better.
You guys don't write damage there. Just hide ahead.
Yeah, he took and crossbow bolts. And he feels better now than he has in 20 years. He gets out behind the bar. He gets out behind the bar, and if you like look over the shoulder, I guess Baster, you're looking at him. You're trying to get back to him. You see that both of the bouncers, like, they each grab a bottle in each hand and smash them on the bar and like hold up the edges as Gage ducks under. This one right here will... Let me make sure I can do this. I think I can. I think that's how this character was built. They cast an arcane spell, and you see almost this sigil of like an eye appear over its forehead for a brief flash, in like a bright purple. And then they begin chanting again. The blade, the curved blade, begins glowing in this sick green radiant light as they swing down at Twinkle Toes. It's going to be a 38 to hit.
That crits.
Okay. With its spell-imbued blade, it slashes Twinkle Toes for
900 points of damage.
28 points of slashing damage, as well as I need a fortitude save.
$33.
33. That is a success. The ray of enfeeblement that was cast upon the blade only gives you enfeebled 1 as it makes contact. But that is the end of its turn.
Okay.
This one here is going to pop a shot at Oski with its crossbow.
It's shooting through an ally? No? Or...
Take... I'll give you cover for his ally. But I'm not going to give you cover for Twinkle Toes due to the height disparity.
Yeah,
so take
sure.
a
That makes sense.
Take a +2. But I don't think it's going to matter. 22 to hit. Well, actually, you're not wearing armor. Yeah.
No, that misses still.
It still misses? Okay. Well, I thought initially that it was going to be a miss. Then I remembered you didn't have armor. So I was like, oh, it might actually be a hit. Then you said it misses, and I got sad again.
It's closer than I would like it to be, but it's still
Well, he's gonna reload and shoot again. 31? 31?
Oh, that definitely hits. Yeah.
How's 8 points of piercing damage for you?
Okay.
Small.
That is the end of round 2. And we'll pick up with round 3 at the top of next week. Thank you all so much for joining us. What's going on? Is this the end of the heist? Is this the beginning of something new? Who knows? I mean, I do, but let's find out next week. Thank you all so much for joining us, and we'll see you next time.